Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 157 of Peace Talk. This is the Peace Dealer, and we have an otherworldly guest today on this episode, bringing the magic. Sophia, thank you for joining us. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm great. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
That's what's up. Huge shout out to the Leo King. Not sure we might get a cameo or he might show up, but what I was saying earlier, that looks familiar, so I know you're at the studio.
Yeah, in the office.
That's still at Huntington Beach, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, in Orange County.
All right, yeah, dope place. Really cool stuff has been shown. I am gonna say right off the bat, this is already a pretty controversial episode.
Oh, really?
You guys kind of got me in trouble. I got a scathing email in this morning. It was a very long paragraph email from someone who that was the first time I was hearing from them. So the very first time I knew they existed was this email, and it was basically saying, they have supported me for a long time, watching me on this channel, but seeing me do this interview with you was the last straw or not last straw, but I guess it offended them very deeply because they believe that they should walk in the light, and I guess they have something really bad against David. I guess David is just like not in the light, I guess, anymore. And by me doing this interview, I have stained. I don't know, but it was quite enlightening. So,
wow. Yeah. Well, honestly, I thought you were going to say it was about me because I have people like that that like hate on me too and say, but it's like everyone's doing spiritual work. So I don't know like how we're not walking in the light. And I don't know, people have like hated on me for like my past or whatever.
Which would be
well, like I was a dancer and I've done like a lot of like work like that, like kind of like in that industry.
Oh,
so like, yeah, people like kind of hold that against me or try to like bring up my past and like, oh, you're not spiritual because of that. So like, I get it.
I was gonna say which would probably be related to your Libra rising, but I'm glad you said that because that's amazing. If you don't mind, we'll definitely talk about that. As far as the whole stigma between like dancing and spirituality and like working or breaking through that. But yeah, I mean personally, for people watching, if you feel like me, I mean just really in principle, like if you feel like me working with certain people you don't like, or especially the Leo King or Sophia here, if you don't like that, you can unfollow me right now, you can unsubscribe right now. I hope this isn't how we go our separate ways, but I just wanted to get that out the way. Other than that, really happy to have this interview right here. I saw the video you had made earlier, one of the first videos on your channel about fairy light, and it was really mind-blowing to me in the sense where I had come to accept more. I feel like having Gemini, I get really in my head, so I've come to accept more the real existence of fairies and how that's more so tied into the Pisces and Sagittarius realm. And for those who aren't aware, what are your sun, moon, and rising?
My sun is 19 degrees Pisces, and then 16 degrees Sag is my moon, and then 3 degrees Libra is my rising.
So I also noticed, which I've been very amazed with the new generation. You probably have Pluto on your moon, don't you?
Oh yeah, I do. I do have it there in Sag. Yeah.
So I've been really studying a lot more Pluto's archetypal connection to the underworld, and now I'm just putting two and two together. You being a dancer, I feel like that, or you used to dancing. I feel like that must have made it very exciting, or I'm sure there's a lot of wisdom and probably like I hate to ask loaded questions, but I guess you could probably navigate through arenas like that then most other people would probably be naive. But yeah.
Yeah, I definitely learned so much like as a person, and it made me grow, and it made me like wiser and like more confident. And yeah, it definitely was for a reason. Also, I have Mars in Scorpio and Lilith in Scorpio, so that might be a reason like why I was in that realm
Oh,
too.
that's wild. That's
Hmm.
intense as fuck.
Yeah, it's pretty.
No. What does what I bet Pluto and Scorpios might be intense to deal with for sure.
Oh yeah, I think David has Pluto in Scorpio. He
And
does.
Saturn
Oh no,
too.
he has it
And
in Libra actually. He has it in Libra.
at the end, I know he has Saturn and Mars in Scorpio though. That's also intense,
Yeah.
which is really
Yeah.
well. I know I have Moon on Neptune in my chart, and people with that we
Oh.
have access to like the fairy kingdom and stuff like that. But I've never really understood it outside of a concept. So to see you bring it to life is pretty cool.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
I can imagine people, which is what I admire about Pisces. Like people will probably look at you like you're delusional, but the thing with y'all is like you really are the magical fairy, you know? So
Yeah, I know. That's why I was kind of worried to put that video out because I was like, I know people are gonna like say like just think I'm crazy,
right.
but it's real. Like there's a lot of realms, and like just because we can't see it doesn't mean it's not there.
So
So
is it something? I mean, I'm not gonna. It'd probably be harder to put into words fully, but I I'm actually very interested in how you tap into said realms with Neptune in your sign right now. How has that been since 2012?
oh yeah, it's been like very spiritual, and like I've always felt connected to it, and I've seen like orbs and stuff. Like if I do something like that's like not on my life path, I'll see like orbs and stuff like around me, like trying to get me to like go back into spirituality, or like even if I'm like around someone and they're like meant to be around me, or like feel orbs around me, like I don't know, I just always feel them around me, and they're like fairies or angel guides.
Which
So,
once it that specific vibration, like the Sag and Pisces, and even like both together, that those vibrations have challenged me a lot because I'm earth air, like cat moon gem sun, so I've always been kind of resistant to accepting like how do you just feel these energies and channel them. I've kind of
yeah.
been right, skeptical, but then there would always be proof. Not that there needed to be proof, but like slowly but surely and reluctantly, like I've come to accept that y'all can really see, and even Sag Moon, that's understanding vision, but it's like you can see the unseen. And it's I can imagine, do you have like vivid dreams at will, or like when you close your eyes, is it like a movie screen you can visualize really colorfully?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I definitely have like really real dreams, but when I did a lot of psychedelics, it kind of made it more like that. And then like lights were really sensitive to me, so I kind of stopped doing them. But I'll have
Okay.
really real dreams and intense dreams, and then I'll go periods of time where I don't dream at all. So it's like one or the other. It's weird.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
what's up. And yeah, I mean, with Pluto on your moon, would it be a stretch to say you feel things super intensely or super passionately or both?
Yes. And I feel like my emotions are really bold and like extreme, and I try to like keep that in check though, because people have told me I'm like too extreme. I think that's with my like Mars and Scorpio, and like I have all this Aries too, so it's like really intense. But it's fun. I love being a Sagittarius because I feel like I just have fun, and if I think about something and I just want to do it, I'll just do it. And everyone around me like, that doesn't make sense. It's not like logically smart. Like you shouldn't be doing all this crazy stuff. But I'm like, I want to do it, and then my life gets better because I like have crazy experiences and I like learn from it, and I get to experience more things.
So it's like you're impulsive, but you're also intuitive. So it
Mhm.
looks one way, but it all connects. That used to really drive me crazy about like Pisces in general, because it's like y'all get away with a lot, but it's not like you're
Oh,
getting
do
away with.
we? I feel like Pisces and Gemini have a hard time because we're like on a different wavelength, but we're like similar but different.
Yeah, we understand each other until we don't understand each other. Until we
Yeah,
do,
totally.
until we don't. Which I appreciate. I know I, I I've been able to understand more of my like Capricorn and Piscean stuff because of Pisces and because of like helping me believe, just being in my head and thinking certain things aren't possible, and then it happens, and it's like, what? Like, y'all have us speechless for sure. Like, damn. I'll be hanging around with Pisces, just seeing 444s and just mad synchronicities like within seconds, and then I'm like, okay, am I dreaming? Like, what the heck is happening? But
yeah, I love that. We bring that energy around people.
oh yeah, that's wild. But yeah, that's another thing too. Props to you being, I know you're born after 95, so you represent I call that the creators of the new world, the leaders of the new school.
Oh.
So yeah, and to step into it at such a young age, I presume what is it like having Saturn in Aries? If you have, yeah, I think you have.
Oh, I have Saturn at 0 degrees Taurus, so
0 degrees Taurus. Oh
yeah.
shoot, so it's at the very end. Damn.
Yeah, so I have like really hard lessons around, they say like around relationships and money. That's like my lessons I'm learning in this life, which is true. I've learned like the hardest lessons through relationships. So.
And that's like, yeah, it looks like it's near your 7th house. So it's a lot to look forward to. Yeah, congrats in advance. And I mean,
I know, I can't wait for my Saturn return because everyone seems like their life's so much better after, and like have you had your Saturn return? Okay, what's your Saturn in?
Capricorn. It's right on my moon. It's
Oh.
exactly my moon. I didn't understand my emotions and soul until the Saturn return. Like everything after, just like, it's pretty cool.
Damn, that's really cool. And Capricorn moons are very like reserved with their emotions. I feel like my mom's actually a Gemini with a Capricorn moon, so I know that energy very well.
Oh snap! My mom too.
Oh really? Whoa.
Yeah, me, my mom, and I. That's wild.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, me. Wow, that's what's. Is your mom like in the late or early 60s?
She's 74.
Oh, okay. The 70s has dope outer planet energy too. That's deep.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's cool.
Is she like always busy or always working?
Yes, she is very much that. And she's a Leo rising, so she's a lot of fun. And Gemini, she's very Gemini. Like, that's how I knew astrology was real, because she's such a Gemini. I'm like, it's very real.
We don't stop talking.
I love it though. It's fun. We need that energy around us.
That's what's up. That's really what's up. So what inspired Fairy Light? What inspired this journey in brand?
Well, I've always loved fairies in the fairy realm, and I just always knew I was a starseed forever, because I was like pretty much born awake, because I was just like, I would see auras since like my earliest memories, and like just super sensitive. Yeah, my mom, because like I would ask my mom, I'm like, why is there a color around everyone? And she's like, you can see auras, that means. And I was like, what? Because I thought everyone would see that. Right. And then yeah, I've just always been really like psychic and be able to like read my mom's mind, like pick up what she was thinking. And so I just always knew that's why I was here. What?
That's mind-blowing. Because a lot of what you're saying for the longest time for me has been theory. You study something for so long, and then you actually meet people or find people who live it. So I have a lot of chills. Even knowing you have Pluto on your moon, and that you were born awake. Pluto is like the awakener. So being able to see auras, and of course being super sensitive with the mutable energy, but one of the characteristics of Moon Pluto people, they can sense negativity, and they can understand, like, I guess, the subtle nuances. Like, I can have like a smile on my face, but if I had negativity, you would literally like see through it. You can like see through it. So that's like mind-blowing to me. According to science, you only exist in fantasy or science fiction, which I guess fairies do only exist in fantasy.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really dope. It's really mind-blowing, because I've been approaching a lot of this as if it was fantasy, and like breaking the ground into a lot of practical applications like this. For example, we see how one thing that really blew my mind about the Pluto Sagittarius generation is I really feel that's the generation that's going to awaken God level superpowers, collectively. And here you can clearly see auras, so it'd be amazing how you lead humanity or lead people and being more open and sharing these gifts without feeling, like worried about how you may look or whatnot.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's
Yeah.
shout out to you, Kiki. Shout out to the Sagittarius and Virgo. Do you beef with
I love
Virgos?
I actually like Virgos. They say we're not supposed to really like our opposites, I guess, but like I like them. I mean, at a certain point they get too picky and like too reality based, but I like them because they're so chill and like shy, and I'm like that too. So I feel like we're similar.
Yeah, it's one thing about oppositions that are amazing. Like we have a lot more in common than not. But
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, do you
shout
like
out to
Sagittarius?
Sadie in the chat.
Oh,
Saddies, I love
yeah,
Saddies. I love and hate
I like
Saddies.
them
Like,
too.
yeah, I love how they challenge me, but I also don't have as much fire in my chart. So yeah, it's mutable. It's fun. It's like Gemini. It's fun until
Mhm.
it's not fun. But yeah, Sag is my favorite sign and Libra, so it is what
Oh,
it is.
cool.
I have a lot of
Yeah,
favorites,
yeah. Libra
but
and Geminis are good together. They're like the best, I think.
yeah. I mean, very fun. I don't have any Libra in my chart, um,
Mm.
but they always show up when I do eat with some, and it's like who the dude who played Paul Blart Mall Cop in the movie Hitch. I forgot
Oh
what his
yeah.
name is, James or something like that. I'd be feeling like them with Libra. It's like, what? Like, I didn't even know you're supposed to do this or you could do that. It's just like the whole Aries Libra interaction. But yeah,
Hmm.
um, that's really once again kind of dope. Just I, I'm just kind of really like mind blown once again because to me, this is kind of showing me how Neptune is expressing itself through like Pisces moons, Pisces suns. Um,
Mhm.
how do you also feel about any like heightened experiences with Neptune once again in your sun, or like do you see things more clearly now? Is it are you used to it at this point?
Yeah, I mean, it's been my whole life, so I don't really know anything else. And like, yeah, I mean, like normal reality is like it's like super boring to me. So I get like really like I don't know, it's like I don't it's like the fantasy and like the extra dimensions, like that's what reality really is to me. So it's like more fun and it's more stimulating, and like this 3D realm is like really like hard for me, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense because you described the sixth house Pisces archetype. Like the fantasy is reality. So to
Oh
me,
yeah.
right? And my theory is that with that axis, especially with the sun and the moon, you may be probably warping reality and like probably like bringing the the 5D to the 3D or whatnot. But yeah, and shout out to the Pisces in the chat. Like I've once again had mind blowing synchronicities. My friend Michael right here is actually the Archangel Michael. He has his
Oh
moon
wow.
8 degrees on the Archangel Michael Aldebaran star, and he didn't even know that before he kind of expressed that. And once again, that's the sun in Pisces, and like every single sun in Pisces that I know in my life, I have a crazy story like this where it's just like it's like y'all force us to kind of get out of the box of, I don't want to just say 3D, but to you know which sounds inspirational, but for me, I just be feeling so trolled. It's very taxing on my head because like I just want to like stay in my head like, what? There's no way I'm seeing this right now. But yeah,
Yeah. You're like logical because you're air and earth. So that's like very thinking of things a certain way, like a certain side of your brain. So it makes sense to like flip that. It's
calculated.
hard.
My
Yeah, you can't
moon
really
just
calculate it. You can't measure it. Just like Pisces don't like we don't like watches, we don't like calendars, we don't like dates. We just like to flow. Like if we could through life, we would.
right. I mean, it's not too far off. Um, it's even wilder too. I'm progressed Cancer Sun, and my moon just
Oh.
got out of Pisces and went into Aries. So I've been feeling mad air. I've been feeling mad water and fire, and ever since I went to Aries, I've just been like sounding off more of the Aries and just like having these random spurts of just like not outbursts of anger, but just passionate outbursts. And I've been feeling alive. I used to hate on Aries for that. I'm like, Aries, why are y'all so angry? Now I'm like, wow, like this is what I've been missing. Like this is exist. Now I know why they be like angry or just outbursts. I know it's a fire sign thing. So I know Sag and Leo, y'all feel that too. That's just fucking awesome. Like,
Yeah. I think it's just passion and like wanting to get things started. Like Aries want to do what they want to do because they're just themselves. They're just like, I am. Like they just think from their perspective, I guess.
do. Could have said a lot of jokes there, but yeah. Where do you feel? I mean, I know you just started, right? But where do you feel you want to move forward in terms of content? Because I mean, I love how you set it up. You clearly can take it anywhere. It's like you're bringing us into this fantasy world and helping us learn that it's here. It's all around us. So
Wait, what did you ask? Sorry.
it's all good. What direction may you be taking your content?
Oh, well, that's the thing. I'm trying to like kind of figure that out. Like I just made a video about the goddess Sophia, but I feel like one of my purposes is to like bring that like goddess archetype back, like bring the knowledge of that back because it was like hidden for so long and they like
Right.
took it out of the Bible and like so I feel like because my name's Sophia, so I feel like to bring that knowledge of Sophia is like one of my purposes and just everything feminine energy, spirituality.
I got chills, full body chills when you said that.
Oh
Because
my God, I love that.
yeah, that I mean, I've grown up traditional Christian my whole life. So, my mom's very traditional in asking her stuff like, they talk about God, where's the goddess? I also asked my mom, like, uh, why don't they mention Lilith, in the Bible? And,
Mhm.
she's very closed off on talking about that. But the Holy Spirit has revealed to me the existence of the goddess through crazy synchronicities and how it expresses itself through conduits and different women. I'm not saying this as an authority, but as someone who is being taught daily. You know what I'm saying? Very humbling. So I'm really grateful for you to share that right now, especially in learning, the Almighty God and then the goddess of creation, right? But
Mhm.
this is where things get muddy because I've always been curious about Sophia, especially when it comes to Gnosticism and
Mhm.
how they always bring this kind of like uh I won't say narrative, but this whole notion that maybe the God of the Old Testament or the demiurge is evil, and we see the whole notion with Sophia bringing knowledge, or somehow being responsible. I'm not even really sure of the story, but I feel like you're the perfect person to ask. So, like,
Mhm.
for those who are unaware or not as informed, could you explain that more and how you also come through and represent that?
So from my understanding, she was in the original Gnostic texts, and those texts are like what they used to make the Bible, but they only chose like certain texts and certain books, and they like didn't put her in. And I think it was intentional to like maybe disempower women or like so patriarchy could flourish. I don't know. It happened for a reason though, because we're on a pendulum, like we're more masculine, we're more feminine, like we go back and forth.
Right,
But so she was like the original creator of this earth. Like she is the earth, they say.
right.
Like in this realm, that's how we experience like earth is a living being, and that's her. And she's like wisdom. So we have word is the God, but wisdom is the goddess. So we need the wisdom.
Wow, I just got chip. Wow, that's crazy. So you have the word of God, and then the wisdom, the word and the
Hmm.
wisdom. That's wild. Okay, thank you. That's amazing. And I love that you referenced, back in the day. If you haven't seen this, y'all, the Age of Deception by the Leo King, still to this day one of the dopest, greatest like videos or programs I was even live to see. And the reason why I love that so much is you don't really see many other programs that kind of detail the existence of religion, but astrology and tarot's influence there too. and how like they used to go hand in hand, and how it started to get phased out with, said wisdom as well. But which is crazy. It's crazy. It's like the wisdom got taken out and the wisdom got taken out, which and got
Yeah.
even refined, like mind blown. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's something that I feel made obviously, I guess, is becoming more revealed and unlocked. Would you feel there's like a revival of some sorts?
Yeah, I feel like the divine feminine is rising on earth. And I think they say like without wisdom, like nations perish and like things can't flourish and stuff. And I feel like that's kind of what's happening, because we have like an imbalance of energies. It's like more masculine. And so when the feminine rebalances, I think that's like how we like become more peaceful on earth and like heal this earth.
And one thing you also mentioned before, about the masculine being more feminine and the feminine being more masculine, um, it brings me to your recent video about Ulta Beauty,
Oh
which
yeah.
right, I thought that was very interesting, and very symbolic too, where we do see this. I don't even want to say attack, but you know, push towards like redefining what it means to be a woman, and uh, I'd definitely be interested in your thoughts more, or if you can elaborate more on that, on what you feel about that, and where you think this may be going moving forward.
Yeah, I just feel that because woman has meant a certain thing for so long, it's important to like realize what it means, because then it's kind of erasing what women are and like kind of impeding on our own being and like what we're about and like what it means to be a woman. Because to be a woman means you have a womb and that you're connected to the moon and that you're like a portal to bring souls into this realm. So it's like a very specific thing. Like I'm fine with people like looking a certain way or like changing how they dress or like wanting to look
Right.
feminine. That's good. But like when you call it a woman, like you're kind of changing what that word means, because it means you have a womb and you're like that type of being.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I think is important to specify, because unreasonably people can take what you've said as like being transphobic, but I don't really get that vibe at all. I feel like it's important to really you know not be. I feel like people want us to be afraid to kind of call a spade, and be honest
Mhm.
with what is what. So wanted to give you flowers there. All power to you. uh because we need more women that speak out, you know what I'm saying, and do stuff like that. So that's what's up, as y'all continue to do. So
Yeah, I think our voices matters more now in the world, and I think it's important to have more like feminine perspective on things in society.
that's what's up.
Yeah.
Now, on that vein of coming into I hate to call it a spiritual community, right? But coming into this path or this work or environment, what do you feel is what advice would you have for people who may be going through what you're going through, as far as facing a stigma and having to break through it, or not having to break through it because there's nothing to prove, right? But like just dealing with it.
Yeah, like a stigma of what?
Well, in
Because of my
this case,
past or
yeah, for dancing, I feel like that's or any kind of sex work, period, or in that
Mhm.
industry.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like I chose this life path for a reason. Like I know when I was like going through like my past and going through all that like work and stuff, like I always felt like it was for a reason. Like I never felt like I was
Right.
off my path or doing anything wrong.
Right.
So like I think I went through it so I could see this perspective and like go through people judging me and like learning what I needed to learn through that. So I just had to really learn to not let people get to me, because so many people tried to like bring me down or make me feel bad about myself. So I think that's why I
Right.
went through that, and just like not letting other people's judgments like matter to me or like affect me or bring like change who I am or like how I feel about myself. And that's like all you can do is just know who you are and like do it for the right reasons, because like I still have a message, I still have a reason I'm here and a purpose, so I can't like stop because people want me to or want to make me feel bad.
Feel you on that. Feel you on that.
Yeah.
And you know, um, one thing I've noticed about like just people I've met in that industry, or just dealing with that is it seems to me more like psychotherapy where in an odd sense people who I've met, it's almost as if they were placed there to do light work there to like help the people who might be suffering, whether they're dancers or people who are on the other side. And it really changed the way I kind of look at it. And especially knowing you have Pluto on your moon, I feel like that might give you a much deeper psychological understanding, but in the fun, sad way, which I've always seen as dancing too, which is really
That's true. Yeah, I definitely felt like a light worker there. Like I was like helping people, and they say that that kind of work can be like healing. So I think it was for a reason. And I met very interesting people there. Like I met this like witch guy there with like these long nails and this like cloak when I was dancing before. And he told me that like dancers are witches and that we're like manipulating energy. Like I was
that
like,
makes
wow, that's really interesting because we're like using our
yeah.
sexual energy to like manifest money, I guess. I don't know. He said that, and I was like, that's really interesting because I know a lot of spiritual dancers. So
Right.
they're witches.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I could totally see that, especially
Yeah.
whatever mysteries were kind of lost in the past. Because I mean, there's a different way this is all done back in the day. So, I mean, I can definitely see that being incorporated. But yeah, that's really dope. It's really nice to see you coming out and shining, especially once again representing Pluto Sagittarius. Um, you stay in the West Coast, right? You're out in obviously California.
Yeah, I'm in Orange County now. I was in LA, but now I'm in Orange County.
Okay. How would you say that has impacted, I don't want to say your spirituality, right? But like your lifestyle or just being out there?
Yeah, LA made me grow a lot because there's so much going on and you like have to learn really fast because it's like really fast paced. So I'm very grateful that I lived there. But like it got to a point where I was like, there's so much darkness there and like dark energy and like people do things for the wrong reasons and a lot of like clubbing and just not my type of vibe anymore. Like I went through that phase and I'm just like over it. So Orange
Right.
County is a lot more chill and like clean and like
Orange County.
vibey. Yeah.
Were you there during the pandemic?
Yeah, I was in LA in the pandemic.
Oh, you were
It was
there in
crazy.
LA. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That must have been hectic. That's just
Yeah, it was. There's a lot more homeless there now.
That's what I'm gonna ask too, because like everyone keeps saying there's very dark energy in LA. Like most people I ask will make a point to say that, which is interesting. So yeah, how is it as someone who's lived there, how has it been like seeing it grow progressively worse in that case with like the homeless?
Oh yeah, because before the pandemic, it was a lot more better energy, but there's always been a
Right.
darkness to the city, like a dark hole that like sucks people in. So I've seen people move there and then their lives get like they get sucked into the whole partying, like promoters, like kind of culture, and their life just like goes down and like super drugs and alcohol. So it's like you have to be careful. Like people move there for a dream and then they get sucked into that lifestyle and then they just never really do what they were meant to do there. But
Yeah.
it's changed a lot since the pandemic. It's like a lot more like separated, I feel like people, and like a lot more, yeah, just like a lot more homeless and like dark type of stuff going on, I feel like, because a lot of the underground stuff like came up during COVID. So there's a lot more like underground stuff going on now, I feel like.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. Like underworld criminal activity and stuff too.
Yeah, like there's like the karaoke bars, like the get run by gangs, like a lot of stuff like that. Like,
Whoa.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I think that made it bigger during the pandemic.
Okay. So you see clips of like flash mobs stealing stuff and you think it's like bad, but I'm not sure if that's an exaggeration or really bad out there, but it looks like it's really bad.
Yeah, it's real, I think. Yeah.
So yeah, let's get a little bit spicy or juicy here. Well, not I know that sounds a certain way, but actually, yeah, how did you and David meet?
Me?
Yeah.
We met on Instagram actually in 2020.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Mhm.
I
And
noticed. Oh, go ahead.
oh, it was like November 2020 we met in person.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
During the pandemic. I
Mhm.
noticed y'all have like amazing synastry. Like what really I'm a huge fan of synastry. So like there's certain
Mhm.
things I'll see and I'll be like, okay, like this is meant to happen, or like this probably got y'all together. And I noticed both of you have the Capricorn signature. So like your moon is 10th house to your sun, and then his moon is 10th house to his sun. So it's like both of you are like the boss archetype. And do you kind of notice, I mean, you know, you have your office, he has his office, but like what's that like is that, do you notice that similar dynamic, or is
Yeah,
it
I
like
think so. I think we're similar in certain ways. We also both have Mars and Scorpio, so I feel like that's a
right?
really important placement. Yeah. Like
And
Mars
then
is very
Saturn's
important.
opposite too, I
Oh yeah,
noticed.
yeah. And then my Saturn's in my 8th house, so it's kind of like Scorpio.
Right.
So, um, but yeah, I think we're similar, but we're also very different. So we balance each other out because he's very like Leo and like outgoing and like that. And then like I'm more chill. But we also like we balance each other out in like a good way.
I know he identifies a lot with like the 12th house part of him. And
Oh yeah, I
so
totally see that. I feel Pisces energy from him. Like I definitely feel that because 12 I think if your son's in the 12th house, your like personality can kind of shift a lot like a Pisces and I can see that like have a lot of dimension to your personality.
right. So like as a Pisces, what is that like? What does that look like? Do you notice
Um
more? Are you familiar with it?
yeah, I definitely notice it. I love it. I honestly love it because I think it makes people really compassionate and like sensitive
That's awesome.
and it's similar to me, so it's good.
Okay. All right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's really awesome. Do you guys have any, I mean, I don't want to, you don't have to spoil anything, but do you guys have any like projects coming out? Like special
Projects?
videos? Yeah, like any videos or fun content we could look forward to?
Yeah, we do want to make a video together. We're going to do that soon and just talk about our divine union and everything. So,
Oh, that's what's up. Like,
yeah.
so I was gonna ask if you can kind of like tease a little bit, or is it all like exclusive?
I don't really have anything to tease. I don't know. We like don't
Right?
really plan.
You don't want to spill the beans too early.
Yeah.
Okay, because I really am interested in just divine counterpart unions. When you kind of speak on that connection, would you say both of you represent an archetype that you recognize, or is it just more focused on, obviously you have pure connection, but like yeah, how do you kind of tap into these things?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I feel like we are definitely like he's in his masculine energy, I'm in my feminine energy, so I feel like we definitely are in our own energies like that.
Mhm.
So, we, like, balance each other in that way, and we're both very spiritual, and I think that that is, like, really important to be with someone who's, like, on the same wavelength as you because I've been with people who are, like, kinda spiritual, but not really, like, so it's actually nice to be with someone who's, like, actually spiritual and, like, understands you on that level and, like, knows
Who
it's
does the
real.
work too? Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
that's what's up.
Mhm.
I'm really interested too, because like the Pluto Libra, Pluto Sag, like the I've been finding a lot of cases of minor age difference that actually work. Like both of you kind of complement each other so amazingly, just because of like, but then still with the nature of the energies, it's like, once again, not only complimentary, but something I've been looking into. So I love to see that with both of you, because it also kind of shatters. It's very Uranian, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like shatters expectations or what things are supposed to look like. So yeah, I'll power to both of y'all. That's what's up.
Thank you. Yeah, they say on our pattern that our connection's, like, unique, so I think it is, like, a Uranus connection, but, yeah, I think we're soulmates for sure, like, I feel that, we both feel that, so we met and then we, like, kinda separated and we went our own ways, but we always stayed in contact and we were, like, friends and, like, always supported each other, and then we just, like, came back together just a few months ago, so
That's beautiful. Just in time for the eclipse.
Yeah.
All right. Let's play the 3 questions game. In conclusion, before we plug out of here, this is definitely a cool talk. Um, I got you on the hot seat right now, so I'm gonna ask you 3 questions. You can ask me 3 questions, any question, and we'll just take turns answering them.
Okay.
And the only rule is you go first.
Okay.
Yeah.
What got you into spirituality and like this type of world, like the astrology and like everything like that?
Personally, I wanted to become a pastor and a theologian. So I was like busy learning Christian apology and how to defend the Bible. And that somehow led to me realizing that the Bible was edited and rewritten. And yeah, the central message was kind of kept the same, but it kind of opened my mind up to it not being as infallible as I was taught it was or thought it was. And for somehow I started watching horoscopes and eventually I made my way to Soul Garden where I met Crystal Techie and David Palmer was before he was a Leo King and other really cool people at the time. And 2012 was when I got my natal reading from Chris and from David, and it changed my life because that was the first time I seen a reading like that, and that's what really just inspired me to really learn how to read charts and kind of dive into that. And yeah, it's been a fun path ever since. There's like a 30-minute version of that story, but I didn't want to be there too long. But yeah, it's definitely been, and that's where I actually appreciate the Pisces along the path because y'all have taught me to just really go with the flow, but more so have faith and believe in what I can't understand, and it always works out miraculously.
It
Always
does.
works
When
out.
you have faith, it does work out. It's true.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
So, if you were in a classroom of second graders and you had to give like a red pill, what red pill would you give to those children?
Oh, like a wake up pill? Like, is that
Yeah,
what we're?
like right. Yeah, yeah, like a wake up pill. Yeah.
Oh, dang. I guess it would be about like spirituality and like connecting to that and like how important it is and astrology because it really does like help. I feel like astrology is really healing. Like when you understand your birth chart and yourself and the world around you, like from astrology perspective, like it makes everything make sense and you can actually like make your life more better and productive and like happier if you know your astrology.
So you would point them to basically know their chart.
Yeah, astrology and spirituality and like connecting to that because I think it's kind of been like taken away from us, like our connection to spirit, and it's like really important, like our own inner connection to like the higher powers and source and like Mother Earth and like the cosmos and like bringing it together within us and like how important that is.
Okay. Oh my God, the FP pill. That's crazy. Shout out to Kobe. That's a
That's
that's a Pisces. That's another Pisces who is
oh, I
magically
mean, I don't know if they need to know about that yet, but
right.
like, yeah,
One day it was a
yeah.
horrible. All right. So now we are on round 2 of questions.
Okay. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know what to ask. Um, what's one of the best lessons you've ever learned in life that like changed your life?
Damn, that's crazy because I feel like I have those like every 2 weeks, but there's definitely been a major one as of late. Which is gonna sound very cynical, but um it, it's one of those lessons that always come back around that you learn, but you just kind of learn more and more. And it's really always down to just like full acceptance and like full trust in what I feel and in my intuition. a lot of things that I kind of doubted about myself, and realizing that they were always true, or real in light of, new evidence or whatnot. But um, I would say one of the most one of the most important lessons for sure was really letting go of expectations surrounding other people. And not that I had unreasonable expectations of other people, but um
Mhm.
not overestimating people, and not because like
Mhm.
we can tap into people's greatest potentials and like see what they can do. So like not being it's easy to be disappointed when people don't live up to it, but they're not meant to live up to it the way we want them to, right? But
Mhm.
just been learning to accept that, but more so really just trust where my intuition leads me, and embrace it more as a superpower.
Yeah, I
There's
love that.
a better answer, but that's the only one that comes to mind. It's a really good question though. A lot of these things are just much harder to put into words. Thank you for us, Fairy Tarot. So my second question for you is the financial fables. If you were president, or if you were like the ruler of the world for like Pisces season, what would be the order of the day? How would you change the world?
How would I change the world? I feel like I would make healing centers for like all around, like that were like actually like spiritual healing and like healing like through like I wouldn't say necessarily ayahuasca, but like I think that could help a lot of people. But like that type of healing, like sound baths and like really getting in touch with that side of ourselves and
Yeah.
healing that way. Because I feel like modern medicine with like all the pills and stuff is like not helping anyone. So like that would be my thing because I feel like that could heal so many people. Like if people were doing like yoga or like exercising and like doing all the natural ways and that was the way we were healing people, I think that would just like change the world like that because like it starts with each individual person and then it reflects outwards. So it's like if we focus on each person and like healing them and helping them, then I think that will help our world.
Nice.
Yeah.
And centers more focused around like spiritual healing, Reiki healing, and okay.
Yes. Yeah, like energy work, stuff like that.
Nice.
That sounds like a Miss America answer.
You seen that? That's awesome. All right. Word.
But it's what I really think. It's really what I would do. So
I mean, with those resources, a lot of centers could be built, and kind of get the legit people. The Reiki is another thing that was very another such practice that took me a while to really accept. Not that I didn't believe it could happen, but like that it was simple to do, or you just need to believe. A lot of belief based stuff, basically. So
yeah, like visualizing the light, like healing you. That's like the key visualization.
there's something about how casual you said that I don't like, and that's what I'm very frustrated about Pisces. Like y'all just be talking about extra magical concepts mad simply, like, oh yeah, I just healed a whole town and talked to 3 fairies, and you really did too. That's like, wait, what? Like, okay, hold
It is
on. And then
simple. It is. It's real.
I'll be having to go to Walmart to 3D myself after I talk to y'all. Like, it's just too
I can't
high
go to Walmart.
vibration.
I hate Walmart. I'm like, oh my god.
I got so much earth. I just have to ground. Like, I just have to chill. But yeah, I get the impression that like you really do live in a much higher vibration, in the sense where like you see so much things around people's aura and that they're going through, and it's just a normal life for you. It's just so mind-blowing to me. So yeah, I've,
Yeah.
I've always been I've always felt that about Sag and Pisces, and you have both. So
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
weird.
Okay. Am I supposed to ask you a question?
Yeah, we got one more round.
Okay. Um, what is something that you're most grateful for in your life right now?
Oh, great question. I am most grateful. I hate this be cliche. I am most grateful for all of you.
Oh,
Um,
so cute.
yes. Shout out to Celestial Brina. Um, I'm grateful with through this platform, connecting with all the leaders in this community and all the people who support with me, because when I was doing what I was doing for like 10 years, the people in my immediate environment gave me the impression that I'm some weirdo, some pseudoscientist, that I'm wasting my time. I should get a real job. And nothing that they said was right. I've never had to work a job for like 5 years, and people from all over the world basically like tell me how important what I do is, and like that's a priceless feeling. I'm very grateful for it. So yeah, taught me quality over quantity all day, every day. So yeah, I'm definitely grateful. And yeah, Linus, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know why you're tripping in the chat, but it
So
is what it is.
I'm just very nice. I'm a Libra rising. I'm just nice, you know. I can't help it.
Y'all are super nice. That's what's
I
up.
know.
My youngest sister's a Libra rising, and she wouldn't let me leave the house if I wasn't matching. At some point, she's like, "All right, let's go to your closet. You're
That's
not
so
leaving."
funny. That is so Libra.
She just got married too, like 2 weeks ago, to a Libra at that. Look at that.
Oh,
That's up.
damn.
Pisces moon. Shout out
Aw.
to both of them.
Aw.
So, my last question for you is, what is the what is like the most supernatural or psychic experience that you remember? Because I know it's more than like 50, but like, what's like one of the major ones that stick out to you?
Um, well, the one that changed my life the most, but like this is when I did DMT, so it's not really like a natural experience, but we do have DMT within us. So
Right.
I saw like angels and everything, and it was like more real than here. So like I like literally broke through to a different realm, and like that was when I was like 19, and ever since then I've just like I always knew it was real, but then it was like just validated it. I was like, wow, like, and it just made me see reality like completely differently.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you've probably had a stronger connection with the angel since.
Yeah, and like when I was doing shrooms a lot, like I started like being a medium a little bit, which was like scary for me. I did not like I don't know how mediums do it. Like I do not like that, but like I could like tune into like people who passed away, and they would like give me messages and like want me to like give messages to people that were
Oh,
still
wow.
living. And I was like that happened to me like once or two times, and I was like I got to
Oh
stop
my.
doing shrooms because it was really real and intense, and they were like I can see from a higher perspective now that I passed on, and like trying to tell me all this stuff, and I was like it's intense. So like I know mediumship's real, but like I don't like it. I don't want to be a medium. It's
Okay, I have chills again because you expertly just described Moon on Pluto, because Pluto's the
really
lord of the underworld. So it's like you're literally an intermediary for spirits. And then in Sag, it's like the ascended perspective.
oh
Um,
shit.
right. Cause like once again, like just to know that you experience that is very mind-blowing. And also connected with that like fourth house, 10th house axis too. So I can only imagine, because Pluto's going to go in Aquarius, and then it's going to completely awaken that even more for you. And that's really
Mhm.
what I want to like close this talk on. You know, I feel like y'all are us and Pluto, Scorpio and Libra, but y'all Pluto, Sag and Cap, you're really pushing forward the normalization of, you know, these visual qualities, these clairvoyant gifts. What advice do you have for people who are struggling to embrace these gifts and make sense of them?
Um, well, I think to just like not think that it's crazy because we've been kind of like taught. That's why I don't really tell people about like when I was a medium, like could be a medium for a minute, like because people just think you're crazy or you're making it up or you're like schizophrenic or something. So like I don't think it's crazy. I definitely think it's real. So like to just like unprogram that like programming that it's like not real because we've been kind of programmed that way, and like just kind of tap into it like with an open mind, I guess, and like just be open minded and like not let your programming like take over. Just open your heart to it and see if it's real for you. Like, you know.
Sweet. Well,
Mhm.
with that being said, for those of you who would like to tune in to Miss Fairy Light, we do have her website and her YouTube. how could people reach you if they want to contact you, and what do you offer and present on your website?
Well, I just started my website, but I do want to start teaching a class soon. I've taught an astrology class before, so I do that, and I mainly do YouTube and Instagram. Those are my main two things.
YouTube and Instagram. That's what's up. What do you like better, YouTube or Instagram?
I mean, I just started YouTube, but I love Instagram. It's fun. Instagram's my fave. It's like my only thing because my Twitter got deleted, my Snapchat got deleted, so I just do Instagram.
Did you delete it?
No, they deleted they found out I made my Twitter when I was like 12 and they deleted it. So
I was about to say there's a backstory there.
No, and then I posted about like OnlyFans on my Snapchat a few years ago and they deleted it. So
you're not allowed to do that? Okay, damn.
No, you weren't. So whatever.
All right. So you were trapping. That's what's up. That was the backstory right there. We got that's what's up. All right. Welcome to the club. I knew you were gang. That's what's up.
That's funny.
So yeah. Do you have any final words of advice for people walking this journey and path?
I guess just stay true to yourself and your message and don't change it based on what people tell you, or like, you know, if you get hate comments or whatever, like just be really true to like what your message is and like your purpose and why you came here, and just stay connected to that. I think that's the most important thing because we all have a purpose. We're designed by God, like specifically for a reason. And tuning into that is like super important.
And what do you feel about that vibration of Sophia? Because you said this before, but I just wanted to close on this note because I feel like that's really revealing, if anything.
The vibration of it?
Yeah, like just representing that goddess and the meaning of how we bring wisdom back into our lives.
Yeah, I think it's just like giving power to the feminine side of ourselves, because we all have feminine and masculine energy. So like the spiritual, the creative, the loving, and just connecting to more spirituality and creativity, and just shining if you're a woman, like not being afraid or like trying to hide or like feeding into that like old structure of like being ashamed for being feminine or like sexuality or like beautiful. Like we don't have to like hide that or like push it down, because that's the goddess energy. Sexual energy is like creative energy. It's what creates everything.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure y'all show her some love. What's your Instagram for people who want to follow? That's probably on your website, right?
Yeah, it's Sophia Sadie, and then I have Very Light too. I have two.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, y'all keep having fun in LA, or I'm sorry, in Orange County, or just really in Cali. How is it post-pandemic, by the way? Is it getting better?
Yeah, I mean, Orange County is a red county, so they never really did masks or lockdowns here, so it's pretty chill here. There's no masks.
Do they still do it in LA?
No, I think they stopped, but like most places like are like very like you have to be vaccinated or whatever to. Oh, I don't know if I can say that on YouTube, but yeah.
All right, true.
Sorry.
Imagine if like this channel gets strike now and like
I know
I get banned. That'll be crazy.
I mean, there's a documentaries coming out about it, so maybe their whole thing will crumble soon. I don't know.
Crash and fall. This man too. Sophia, you're fucking amazing. Thank you so much for joining me and blessing us. Make sure y'all hit up her website, show her some love, and y'all have a blessed weekend. And until next time, peace.